This video is brought to you by Manscaped. More on them at the end of the video. But by the way, this is another reason why it backs up what you're saying. Marchand might be done. I mean, those hip surgeries, guys that usually come back from hip, there's always like a surgery that like you have to beware of and go, the guys don't come back from that.
They're tough.
NHL, it's the hip.
They're tough, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he's gone.
I mean, that's why I think Pasternak's done. I mean, I think he sees Boston as an aging team. Again, Bergeron's going to be done. Krejci's going to be done. You have Marchand, who's still there, but I mean, I think he's going to leave, and I think if Boston's a bad team, they're going to have to trade him.
Anthony, you might be 100% on that, and the hard part is they're going to have to trade him before the end of the year at the trade deadline. If they're going to try to go at it. They're going to have to try to get rid of. You're looking at New Jersey Taylor Hall right now, where they're going to have to try to move on from him sooner than later. Because, Anthony, I'm looking at their cap friendly right now. First off, let me start by saying this. They have $31 million invested in their defense and $30 million the next year invested in their defense with McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, and there's a couple guys that are still signed for one more year. Anthony, this is what's scary about Boston. Here are the following forwards that are signed next year. We'll go with just next year for Boston. Taylor Hall, Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, Jake DeBrusk, Oscar Steen. Wow. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 UFAs and 1 RFA. They are going to be going into rebuild if they don't.
Yeah, and they also have one of the worst ranked prospect systems in the league too. So
yeah, I mean the Bruins are going to get bad, and they're going to get bad quick. And yeah, once again, thank God you got Taylor Hall under contract. And by the way, and now, again, I've been on the Taylor Hall sniping train for a long time. So, I mean,
he rescinded that. He rescinded that trade request.
Yeah, he rescinded it. They paid him right now. They're paying him $4 million. So, I mean, I don't know how Jake DeBrusk would have made more money other than getting moved. I mean, I'm looking at the Bruins salary cap. It's not looking good. And their goaltending, you got to hope Swayman does something. I mean, with that, he's on the final year of his ELC, and Allmark is getting paid $5 million for the next 3 years. Anthony, they're going to be in dire straits, I think, very soon.
You know what? When Boston becomes a bad team, you know what you could circle back to and blame it on? The 2015 draft, one of the most deepest drafts in a long time. They had 3 picks in a row, 13, 14, and 15. And who they took? Jacob
Jeremy
Zaboral.
Lazan was one of them.
Certainly not.
No. Jacob Zaboral, Jake DeBrusk, and Zachary Senshin.
Oof.
And so they picked those 3 guys. Oh, they could have had Kyle Connor, Thomas Chabot, Matt Barzal, Brock Besser, Travis Konechny. All those guys were available. They took those 3 guys over. I mean, could you imagine instead of having those 3, having Connor, Barzal, and Chabot? Let that stew for a minute.
And by the way, just to say this for the record, I did know that they missed out on those guys. I screwed up. I said Jeremy Lazan. I thought he was definitely one of those guys that was in there. But yeah, you're right about that. You whiff on 3 first-round picks. I mean,
and then you have elite players like them drafted right after. I mean, that's ugly. That's ugly. That's really ugly.
Now, I mean, that's very bad. That's very, very bad. And I mean, you talk about teams that are handcuffed. Like, you know, Randy's here. Obviously, the Minnesota Wild are one of them that are handcuffed with those salary caps. But I mean, the Bruins, I'm looking at them right now. The Bruins just like, oh my God. They're going to have nobody on the contract for next year. They have 13 players under contract next year. And they're paying Anthony. They got to. You're right about that. They got to trade Pastrinak by, I think, January.
So check out Manscaped and their family of products. They have you covered from head to toe, from the lawnmower to the weed whacker, because you don't want to look like a fuzzball. Go to manscaped.com, put in promo code BAH for Big Apple Hockey to get 20% off and free shipping. If you like that video, we got a lot more. So check out any of these that are right over here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.